It's easy to stay up to date with all things childcare. Simply click the subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video.
When do babies start crawling? When do babies start crawling? It's a question that many parents ask themselves all the time. And there's no easy answer since every baby is different. Other babies learn to crawl at 6 months old, while others don't crawl until they're a year old, and it's perfectly normal. So, when your little one starts crawling is entirely up to them because babies have different crawling styles. But you can do a few things to help encourage them along. Keep reading for some tips on how to help your baby learn to crawl and eventually sit upright. The baby is a work in progress. Babies tend to start crawling around the 9-month mark, while others take their sweet time putting 4 on all fours before they can walk or run. Not only does every child have different developmental milestones, but there's no single typical pattern for how fast the baby's development happens during each stage of life. They may be early or later crawlers, and it's okay. What are the different crawling styles? Depending on your circumstances, there are various ways babies crawl. Also, there are different crawling styles, some more efficient than others. Let's take a look at each of these types. Commando crawling. When your baby starts to crawl, they will most likely use their hands and arms for creeping. In this position, you can see that the little one is keeping their belly down on all fours while pulling themselves along with short legs. It is also known as the belly crawl. The bottom scoop. You may have seen your baby crawl by sliding their bottom along the floor with its well-cushioned surface. This method uses both hands and feet to pull themselves forward while using their legs as leverage. Classic crawl. In the classic crawl, you will see the infant slowly pushing up on its hands and knees, moving forward by alternating which leg or arm they use to move each time their opposite side is pushed off a surface. The roll. Your baby may rock back and forth in an attempt to crawl, but don't worry. It's a normal part of the process. Your little one will get into forwarding motion eventually at their own pace. The tripod crawl. When the baby moves, it's like watching a theatre performance. The hands and knees do significant work while one leg rests between them. The bear crawl. As they walk, most babies waddle with hands and feet. Their butt is in the air like it's alluring for you to grab onto it as if their body were a toy. The leapfrog. In this type, many babies begin to get into a hands and knees bridge pose and move by thrusting themselves forward. The crab crawl. The frustratingly opposite effect of the baby's intended action is that the baby crawls using their arms to push themselves backward or sideways instead of forward. How to keep your crawling baby safe? As babies begin crawling, you might be surprised at how soon they'll be able to move fast. Keep them safe with these tips. Ensure they're dressed for movement. If you're planning on being part of your baby's crawling stage altogether, they must have comfy leggings or stretchy pants. This will help them maintain their energy levels and avoid painful rug burns and scratches from the ground during belly crawling. Child-proof your house. Keep your baby safe by clearing away any potential hazards in their path. Stay close and monitor what they are doing at all times, and be prepared with child-proofing measures for when children start moving around more freely. Child-proofing your house also means you will be implementing disease control. Teach them not to climb on furniture. You know that certain places in your home are off limits, right? The coffee table and shelf are some of them. You can always see it from the living room, so they might think it's safe to climb there even though you have warned them time after again not to. But if, for some reason, this doesn't work, make sure those heavy pieces aren't attached just yet by propping them up against a wall. What do you do if your baby isn't crawling yet? If your baby is late to crawl, this isn't a source of concern. However, suppose they're also behind in other developmental areas such as language or social interactions and don't use both sides equally well. In that case, it may need early intervention by visiting the doctor. The key to getting your baby to start walking is not when they first take their steps. The perfect timing for this depends on the individual child and the skills developed beforehand. In general, though, we can say that if babies know how to carry themselves while crawling around, then chances should be good they're learning one step at a time.
Hope you got value from this video. Remember to click the subscribe button and hit the bell so